Okay, now we're going to simplify a bunch of polynomials, starting with 11a here. 11a, we've got 6 times 3x squared and 6 times negative 4x. 6 times 3 is 18x squared, and 6 times negative 4 is negative 24. And those are x's. Nice and simple. Take the number part, multiply it by the number part. The letter parts, if there were variables to multiply together, we would, but there weren't. Next one. We've got 30w squared minus 24w plus 18 over 6. I'm going to rewrite this as 3 separate fractions. Each one, I'm going to look at the number part. 30 over 6, 24 over 6, and 18 over 6. I'm going to simplify that. There's no letter on the bottom, so I can't do anything there. 30 over 6 is 5. W squared stays. 24 over 6 is 4. Remember that negative sign stays there. The W stays. 18 over 6 is 3. That's it. So there's our answer for A and B. C, I've got 15d squared minus 12d divided by negative 3. I'm going to rewrite this like so. Divided by negative 3. But really, I'm going to rewrite it like this. The reason for that is so that I don't forget that I need to cancel out each one independently. So again, I'll take the number parts and I'll deal with those. 15 over negative 3 is negative 5. 12 over negative 3, negative 12 over negative 3 is positive 4. For, where are we at here? The d's. The d squared, nothing to do, just d squared. And this d here, again, nothing to do. So I've got negative 5d squared plus 4d. Next one. I'm going to do the same thing I've been doing before. Rewrite them. And the reason I'm rewriting them is just so I don't forget to cancel out independently. Negative 20 over negative 4. That should be positive 5. Negative 16 over negative 4. That should be positive 4. P squared over p. The letters here. I've got p squared over p. That's p to the 2 minus 1. So that's just p. And here, p over p, same thing divided by itself, cancels out, just gone. It's just 5p plus 4. There's our answer there. At the bottom of the page here, I've crossed some out. These ones are using FOIL, which you don't have to remember for tomorrow's exam. E. We've got negative q times 6p minus 7q. I need to remember to multiply that negative q by each of those bits. So negative q times 6p is just negative 6p q. Negative times positive is negative. 6 is just a number. P and q you can't multiply till you know what they are. Just like that. For our next term, negative q times negative 7q is at least going to be positive 7. And q times q will be q squared. So I've got negative 6bq plus 7q squared. And for f, I've got this mess divided by 4x. For this one, I'm going to do the same thing I've been doing, rewrite it. 3x squared plus 5xy minus 6x squared minus 4xy over 4x. A couple of things I need to do here. One, this set of brackets I don't care about. They didn't do anything. This set of brackets I can't get rid of because I need to remember to flip all the signs of everything on the inside. So this is going to be minus 6x squared plus 4xy once I flip those signs. And just like the other ones, I'm going to write them all over the denominator independently so that I don't forget about any cancellations. For the numbers, And the letters, I'm going to do them separate from each other. For the numbers, 3 over 4 is just 3 over 4. 5 over 4, I'm just going to leave as 5 over 4. Negative 6 over 4, I could just do as negative 6 over 4. I could write negative 3 over 2 if I were feeling fancy. 4 over 4 is just 1. For the x's, I've got x squared over x. That's x squared over x is just x. X to the 2 minus 1 is x to the 1, or just x. For here, I've got x over x, so that cancels out. No x's. Here I've got x squared over x, which again is just an x. So x to the 2 minus 1 is just x. And here I have another x and x. They cancel out as well. Now I've got my last letter here, the y. I've got a y there and a y there. Neither of them have anything to cancel with on the bottom, so I just need to make sure to write them in. Where's that other y? Over there. So I got 3/4 x plus 5/4 y minus 6/4 x plus 1y, or just plus y. It doesn't really matter. I can go further with this one because these are all over 4. The reason I left this over 4 is I can rewrite all of this over 4. Maybe if I want to be nice to myself, I'll just not cancel out these 4's here, and I'll just leave this as 4 over 4. That way I can rewrite all of it over 4. So all of it over 4, I've got 3 on the top, 3x. I've got 5y minus 6x plus 4y. Now I can find some like terms in there. I can find x term, and I can find y term and y term. Three minus 6, that's negative 3 x's. 5 and 4, that's 9 y's. That's still all over 4. Neither of these cancel out nicely. This thing that we had before over here, pick a color I haven't used. I've used them all. This thing we had over here was finished enough. This one over here is finished and pretty. Usually if you take the time, especially in homework, to make something pretty, you develop some nicer habits. Just noticing that these were all still over 4, that only one of them really canceled out to make a different denominator, probably leads me to the idea that these x's here can be combined a little bit nicer, and these y's here can be combined a little bit nicer. Just to drag it out a little bit more, I'm going to do the exact same problem, but just a different way. So just ignore this, we're still not doing that. If I did this same one, 3x squared plus 5xy minus 6x squared minus 4xy all over 4x, I could do the combining on the top first. So first step is still the same. Flip those signs. This 6x becomes negative 6x. That negative 4xy becomes positive 4xy. And then, I think this one's a little bit less work. That's why I'm showing it to you. I could find my like terms here. And I could combine them early. So 3x squared minus 6x squared, that's negative 3x squared. 5xy plus 4xy, that's 9xy. I didn't give myself enough room to write that. So we have negative 3x squared plus 9xy all over 4x. And now if I'm dividing by 4x, well, just need to make sure I'm doing each term separately. And then I can do my x squared by x, which is just x. And my, so 9 by 4 I'll just leave. And my other x by x, which will cancel out. That'll go away entirely. And so that's just left with this y over there. So negative 3x plus 9y over 4. Same answer. I think this one, working through simplifying this giant bracket before I did the division, looks a little nicer, feels a little bit better, but both ways got us there in the end, so it doesn't matter which one you pick. Okay, I'll stop here.